Hi everyone, this is Karen Hightower, design team member and moderator over at Stamp TV for Gina K Designs. Today I'm going to share this card project with you and show you a few of the new products that Gina K Designs has come out with to create wonderful foiled projects with. Okay, before we get started on the card, let me show you a few of the things I used. Here is two of the sets, the die sets from Gina K Designs. I have the large and the small rectangle sets. She also has squares, circles, and ovals. All the large sets come single stitched and the smalls are all double stitched. They all layer together really beautifully, and each one comes with different dies in them so you can have accent pieces. Then we have the foil mates. Today I'm going to be using a couple of the backgrounds. This is the foil mates Polka Party. I'll be using the large dots, and then I'll be using the stripes from the Stars and Stripes sets. You get 10 sheets in each package, which is 5 of each design, and they're 5.5 by 8.5. So you cut them in half and you've got a great panel for your cards. And then these fancy foils. Oh, they're so beautiful. This is the grass green, and I'll be using the wild lilac. Beautiful because they match her cardstock, the ink, and envelopes. So you get all the matching stuff, and it makes for a great presentation. Today I'll be using the Bold and Blooming stamp set, which is now available by itself. I have already stamped. This is a double-stitched die. It's the largest in the double-stitched set. But I've already stamped it with Staz-On because today we're going to use Zig Clean Color Markers to color it with. I have my layer piece here. It's the single stitched, but it just layers perfectly. And then I have a card base that is white. It is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. And then I have an extra piece of this polka dot done in the wild lilac. I've already layered the wild lilac and a piece of layering weight white for the inside of the card. I will list all measurements and items below the video so you will know what I used. On this one, I laminated the wild lilac foil and mounted it on black Onyx cardstock. And then I used the grass green. So we're going to use the Zig Clean Color Markers. I've got May Green, Light Green, and Violet. So I'm going to start with the violet on these flowers. I have a water brush. Okay, so I'm going to start with the violet. And I'm going to just add a little, and these are concentrated, so it don't take much to get some good color. And I'm just putting little bitty strokes at the base and then coming out in the center. And we'll do this one over here. And I like my water brush to be kind of dry. I don't like it to be real wet. I know that sounds maybe strange, but I like a dry, wet brush. And I love the Zig markers because you put down the color and then it just takes a little bit of water to move it around for you. Okay, then I'm going to go over to this one. That way that one can have some time to dry. We'll go over here and do a little color. Just move that color around a little bit. Pull it out. Okay. Then we're going to pull the color out. Then on the center, I'm going to take and just dot, put just a little dot, because I don't want these real colored. I want them left pretty light. And the reason I wipe my brush off is because as you go around, you're picking up more and more color. And if I feel like if I don't wipe it off, then I'll get too much color. And that's not what I wanted. I want to keep these lighter. And there's a little shadow. There's going to be a shadow where these are laying on top of the ones underneath them. And this one underneath this petal, I'm just going to do it dark because it's got a shadow. Let's do this up here. There we go. And so for the center, I'm going to just put a little bit on that little, where the swirl ends, and then I'm going to just swirl it out. So it kind of will get lighter as it swirls out. And so I'm going to start with my light green. Let me make sure all the purple's off that. So I'm just going to go over this. And then I'm going to take my light green here and look, I'm just going to draw a line like that. That way I don't have to do each individual little dot. And it comes out fine. So I'll do the same thing with this one. And I just love the fine tip on these markers. You can get in the tiniest little areas. Let me grab the May green. It's a little bit darker. I'm going to go under the petals here because, you know, it's going to be darker where the flower petals are laying over it. And this leaf is laying on top of that one. So we'll put a little extra color there. And I do wipe off the excess ink because I don't want it blended out into each thing. Then it will totally cover up the light that I put down. And I want there to be some definition. So then we'll move over here to this one. Okay. And that's all the coloring I'm going to do. Then I took the Clear Star Jelly Roll pen and I just traced these little tendrils. We need a little sparkle on those. Okay. And then the same thing for the centers. And then I took this Uni-ball. This is really a great pigment pen. You know how most of them get clogged and you halfway through using them and then they stop? Well, this one you just have to get it going. And then so far, knock on wood, it has worked perfectly every time. I haven't had to stop and make, you know, try to get it going. And this one works really well. And Gina carries it over in her store. Okay, that's all I'm going to do there. So now that we have that done, we're going to layer it on top of this single stitched die layer. I'll use my Scotch ATG gun. There we go. Okay, so let's put this card together. For the inside, I'm going to add this panel that I've already layered together. Now, I have found out if I put my layer way up here, then when I close it, it has a hard time standing up sometimes. So I found that if I put it closer to the bottom and leave more space at the top, it closes better and it will stand up better. For some reason, I've done that several times, put it up too high, and then it wants to do this instead of stand up. Also, I have this extra little piece that I thought would look good in here. So let's take that down. And that way when they open it, they'll have a little foil surprise in there. Take my snips and just cut it off. There we go. And then I'm going to take the large polka party dots and I'm going to adhere those to the outside. There we go. I have two different foam squares and you can tell they're thicker. One is by Scrapbook Adhesive and this one here is by Thermo-Web. And so you can see they're clearly one's thicker than the other. So what I'm going to do, I want to pop up this green layer. Okay, and we're going to put this in the middle. Okay, then I'm going to take the larger, thicker, not larger, but thicker foam squares, and I'm going to put this here. But remember, you don't want to put them on the back. I just want it on these sides. That will give it support. Oh, before I do that, I almost stuck it down before I finished it, didn't I? All right, let me find my black and white twine. Let's see, I'll tie it on this side. 1, and I'll go around 3 times. 2, 3. And since I have the sticky stuff off the back, I'm going to go ahead and stick it down here and then tie the bow. So we'll just tie, always tie a knot. And that way if the bow comes untied, I don't have string just everywhere. And there's the final card project. This one I did, since it's a birthday card, I used the leftover foil and put it on the inside. And I made this panel smaller and I added a birthday sentiment on the inside. And this one, since it says, "Hello friends," I will just write a real sweet little note and send it to one of my friends. These items are available over at GinaKDesigns.com. And that is the final card project for today. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. And come visit us over at Stamp TV. We'd love to see you there. Thank you.